for all the other stuff. I will have a trip to Vegas for you this afternoon around 5 o'clock. I guess I was thinking it was just this week, but it's for the foreseeable future. Because all the way up, essentially, to the week of our iHeartRadio Music Festival goes down in a few weeks in Las Vegas, and there are trips for you to win. So 5 o'clock with me for the next couple of weeks. There's going to be a single keyword for you, which is the trip, the airfare, the hotel, all that, and we'll throw you $1,000 to boot. So listen for those trips. It happens at the T-Mobile Arena. That's a fine, fine venue. It's a huge venue. When I was in Vegas, we went to the Conor McGregor fight. It was at the T-Mobile Arena. That's the first and only time I'd been there. So it'll be a lot of fun. It's the Black Keys, and it's Pat Benatar, and it's a whole lot of other acts as well. Thank you to Fester Dillerson for helping out in the video department today. Fester.
That's not a good name.
It's not a good name?
Fester?
Uncle Fester?
But that's like an open wound festers.
It's a family name.
I mean, if you make it that.
What other definition of fester do you know?
Listen, we didn't
I
make
just know
fun.
his aunt is named Fester, and then they said, well, this works for a boy or a girl, and they named him Fester, too.
We never made
Fester
fun.
Dillerson.
We didn't make fun of my Uncle Boyle.
Okay.
And I'm certainly not going to.
That's B-O-Y-L-E, though, right?
No.
No.
I mean, this is F-E-S-T-R-E. Does that make it better?
Festry?
Does that make it better?
Sure. Like
theater?
theater.
Bill, just go along. I'm trying to bring her on board with this. Hey, your Cleveland Guardians had a hell of a time last night walloping the Detroit Tigers. 5-2 was the final at Comerica Park. They'll play them again tonight.
Tied for first place now.
Tied for first place, I assume, with the Twins?
Yes.
Okay. Guardians Tigers again tonight. 7:10 here on WMMS. And also it bears mentioning that Mustard won his first race. After being sent to the minor leagues, of course, this was the talk of the town. This town and so many others in and around the greater Cleveland metropolitan area was them sending off Mustard to the Lake County Captains. And this just further lets me know that this whole thing is set up. That there's no way that Mustard was organically winless in those races at Progressive Field. And there's also no way that Mustard organically just happens to win his very first race
right?
with the Lake County Captains. Was he hiding that light under a bushel basket? Mustard was 0-50 at Progressive Field, and all of a sudden, they go, we're going to send him out to the minors, right?
He got his confidence back.
First of all,
did you see all the training he was doing?
I saw the toilet paper he had.
Yeah.
Well, that's important for a high-quality athlete like Mustard to have all the things he needs, including toilet paper.
Saw a photo of the Cowell family who had come out from Parma, who came to support Mustard. They were holding signs that said, "Justice for Mustard." I don't know that it's a justice situation. I mean, there was no injustice being done to Mustard. It's clearly, they sent him there because they said that he needed to get his mental and physical game back. And so I guess what we are to infer from this is that's what he did. He's
coming back, and I'm telling you, Mustard's going to shock the world.
Mm-hmm.
Shock the world.
Do you believe in miracles? Yes, was what they... Now, I had to edit out so many expletives on the part of Mustard there, who just, after winning that first race, was just letting the F-bombs fly.
He's too excited.
Very excited, and certainly can't blame him for that. Guardians obviously are in Detroit. So this is all manufactured. I can't feel that excited about Mustard getting his groove back when it would have been great had they actually had a conversation with him in the locker room and said, bro, this is not. What did we bring you here for?
They might have.
You're going out to the Lake County Captains.
Who knows?
The Guardians will be back on the 15th. And they don't know if Mustard will be called back to Progressive Field.
I have a hunch that he will be.
You think so?
And he's going
1
to
week in the minors.
shock
Not gonna set him
the
straight.
world.
I hope he wins every game at the Lake County Captains, then he comes back and tanks it again.
What Mustard needs is an actual cheerleader just for him. You know who that might be?
Who?
Halsey.
This guy.
I was waiting
Vagina.
for people to get it.
Yeah. All right, well.
That'll be his number one groupie.
So you think in a week it's gonna be back to normal for this guy?
I hope he doesn't come back.
Ever?
Wow.
Well,
That's
listen.
mean. I'm
I
not
think
gonna say that. I
um,
do hope that he gets his act together. I highly doubt it. That's all.
You highly doubt it.
Yeah.
Well, how do you explain 0-50 and then 1-0 just because of a change of venue?
It's a mental thing, man.
Yeah, maybe he just got confident in a smaller stadium.
Feels more comfortable in Willoughby.
Yeah.
Like,
I know I do.
I didn't like. I didn't like the bright lights of Progressive Field. Those hot, bright lights. I needed to dial it back a bit with the Lake County Captains.
So they play in Eastlake, right?
East Lake.
They're
yes.
right near Willoughby.
They're at Classic Park.
Willoughby is where the classic gazebo story took place.
Right.
I think this
So
has
maybe there's
anything
something
to do
it.
with you.
I think it has
Right.
a lot to do with
For
it.
new listeners, of course, the gazebo story was Bill Squire
We were on a bar crawl.
lived up to his name and squired a young lady out to the gazebo there in Willoughby.
Real sweet
And
lady.
a real sweet lady, school teacher from what I recall. And boy, she went on and on and on about. Just go with it. She went on and on and on about her kids, and Bill put one finger up to her lips and said "shh," and then took her to the gazebo and put another finger up to her lips.
Come on.
Different lips, Mary. Get it?
I get it.
Different lips.
And get it? And a legend was born.
Out of all the bar crawls that we've done, Willoughby was the best.
It's the only one with a gazebo. I think we should be doing a gazebo crawl.
Well, there's also the one we did, East Bank of the Flats one, where a girl that I was hooking up with had a hotel room, and then I invited another girl to that hotel room to try and make a threesome
think that
happen.
was a bar
Poundcake
crawl.
C
No,
blocked
that
you.
was no,
I feel like
that
that
was
was like a
different
pride
thing.
event.
No,
That was a different when Poundcake C block. How many times has he done that
I
to you?
didn't. I've only C-blocked him once, and
that was the one time that was his.
stupid. All right.
Yeah.
I've only done it once.
No, that
you
was-
should have done it 0
Bill
times.
C blocks me every day on air. He roasts me, so then guys don't want me.
There's nobody knocking at your door. You don't have two dudes in the room with you.
Yeah. I was waiting on a third, but Bill blocked
So
it.
I had two female dudes on the way. Now I had one girl was there, and we hooked up, and then there's another girl that was sending me all these messages on Snapchat, and I was like, "Hey, what's up? You want to come hang out with us? We're having a good time. We're drinking. We're having, we're staying in this hotel." And she's like, "Yeah," and she came, and when I opened the door, this is only a few weeks after I had broken up with better, and it was her. She had catfished me on Snapchat, and she's like, "I just wanted to see what kind of person you were." And I was
I was
like,
going to say,
now
what's
you
the
see.
goal there?
yeah,
Now
yeah.
you see. But no,
That wasn't pride because it was late August, almost into September, because I broke up with her like at the end of July.
I'll take your word for it because I know
So she is a psycho. She's screaming at you on voicemail. She's catfishing you. And
She
in the
was.
Right.
She's not anymore.
She's
Not
lovely
anymore.
now.
Not
She really
anymore. Once she gets out of that Bill Squire orbit, everything
Right.
falls into place. Who knew?
I make ladies go crazy.
Yeah.
I just say out of like the Willoughby bar crawl.
Did you slam the door in her face when she showed up and you realized who it was?
No, I just
tried to make it happen.
No, I just go. I did it. I go. Well, do you want to come in? And she's like, no.
Well,
And I was
then
like,
did you slam the door in her face?
No, I didn't slam it. I was just like, so what now? And she's like, and I'm like, okay, good to see ya.
Thank you
And
for
just
wasting
close
my
the door.
time.
Yeah.
Thank you for cutting into my hookup
And then
minutes here.
the other girl that was already there, she's like, what was that about? I was like, well, you know how I had a girlfriend, and this. Yeah, didn't all work out. Didn't work out great, but we're friends now. It's all good.
I had someone pull a me on me.
She just sold my sister's house. She was the realtor for my sister.
Somebody called her and said, "I'll give you below asking."
You know better!
That's right.
You better come up.
It is a seller's market. I mean, not now, but it was
We'll
then.
go to escrow.
Uh-huh. Somebody pulled a you on you. What does that mean?
Remember how I used to say that when I was like, if I thought a dude was cheating on me, I would go through his phone? Well, someone did that to me while I was in the shower.
When was this?
This was when I was in college. This was years ago. But I was in the shower, and I think I left my phone on the charger or something like that. And the dude, I don't even know. At that time, I don't even think I had a password because I was like, no one's going to go through my phone but me. Who cares? And I wasn't. I think he went to a date where he went through my text messages, and he went to a date where we were
Who are
supposed
these people going through people's phones?
I don't know.
I did that in my last relationship.
Why?
Because I didn't trust him.
Break up.
No, we were already engaged.
We weren't dating.
They're trying to make it work, Alan.
We were
I don't
engaged.
trust him?
I don't trust you. Let's make a lifetime commitment.
Again, nothing about that relationship made sense.
I only want to go through your phone suspiciously for the rest of my life.
Well, don't give me something to find, and I did. I found all the stuff that I was looking
Sure.
for.
Who pleads the fifth when they're innocent? I gotcha.
Yeah, I was in the shower, and we weren't even boyfriends. Like we were still in the talking phase. I was courting him, and he must have gone through my text messages.
Courting him.
Yeah, he went through my text messages and went to a date where we were supposed to hang out. And apparently that day, I don't remember exactly what we were supposed to do and who I was hanging out with instead, but it wasn't him. And he found out. He was like, "You whore," and I was like, "Huh?" And he was just like, "Yeah, I checked your text messages, bro." I'm like,
Because there's one other dude?
"Oh,
Yeah,
there-
but that's the end of it. When someone's like, I went through your phone, you're like, all right, well, this is over. I'll see you later.
One for you.
And his friend
He didn't know.
His friend was like co-signing. He was like, I really felt bad about going through your phone, but then I called my friend and she said, well, so-and-so, if you felt the need to go through his phone, chances are you had a bad feeling about it. You shouldn't have been with him anyways. So I was like, so you're just okay with that? He was like, yes.
Yeah, what do you do when you go through someone's phone and you don't find anything?
You make something
Then you
up.
feel guilty as hell.
Then you start messaging people as them. See
let
who
me guess.
responds.
I've done
No,
that.
I
Let me
wouldn't say
guess,
that.
not so
I don't go
guilty.
through someone's phone.
Not so guilty that you never do it again.
Well, I think there's a lot of reasons why people go through someone else's phone. It could be that you don't trust them, and a lot of it comes from insecurity, where you're not secure with...
Nadoy.
Well,
But
that's
what I'm saying is,
saying.
why would any... Yeah, these are not revelations. What I'm saying, why would
But he had dealt-
somebody do that?
this particular
I
I
mean,
just
guy-
told you. They're
no.
insecure, and they don't trust the other person.
why get to that point?
Because
you're going-
insecure.
So bail, yo.
No, because then
he
you're never
wanted
going to
to
be with anybody.
Yeah, you're not
Yeah.
secure enough to bail.
What?
You're not secure enough to be alone.
They want
Oh, my
someone to prove
goodness.
them wrong.
Yeah.
They want someone to prove them wrong.
I
There's
have this
always-
suspicion. I hope I don't find
I
anything.
hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And
But
he
if
was
I
right.
do, yeah.
Right. It's like the I hope I don't ever have to use my gun types. They're itching to use their gun.
Right.
You're hoping to find something on somebody's phone.
He had dealt with cheaters
But then you
before.
don't, did you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Big time.
But it's already like you already know. If you already know, then it's just a
Well,
formality.
you have an inkling, and you know he's going to lie about
it's
it
just,
if you ask
but it's just
him.
a formality then. So like, there's 8 billion people. There's always a next person. This is what I tell my older children.
Well, but you don't think
There's
that when you're
al-
so insecure. When
my
you're
ch-
so insecure that you're like, I have to stay with this person that I know is cheating on me because I'm never going to find anybody else.
Ridiculous. There's
yeah.
always a
In
next
hindsight.
No, in foresight. As a walking, talking adult human being, you know there's always a next person. So they're going through the phone, because then let's say you find something. Then what do? Do
You either confront them about it or you keep it inside until you get drunk and blow up.
That's what I imagine most people do.
'Cause do you say,
they
"I
don't
went through your phone"?
Because if you're insecure, you're already not prone to confronting them.
Right.
So
You're sneaking around because you don't want the confrontation. So there really isn't a winning situation.
So you're drinking the poison and waiting for the other person to die. is
Correct.
what- I see. Okay.
Sounds like someone's been to an AA meeting.
No, it's just pretty standard. Okay.
Yeah.
And so
There's-
somebody went through Poundcake's phone,
And found out that he was.
texting one other
no.
person.
No,
It
not
wasn't
texting.
Oh my
with,
God.
With
I was gonna
with
say,
another person.
It had to be a day where I, like, for lack of a better term, blew him off.
Yeah.
You
Like,
don't know what you don't know until you know it.
and he went through my text messages, and I thought it was odd because I got back to the room and he was like crazy quiet, and this dude is never quiet. And I just went on my phone and my messages were already pulled up, and I'm like, that's odd.
Oh, that's a rookie mistake. Before you even open whatever you're about to go through, you got to look to see what order that the apps were already opened in. So that way, when you close it out, you can put them back in the same order.
That's how I got my first wife. I left my email open. Mm-hmm. That's what blew me up.
I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, I don't expect anybody to go through my phone, so I didn't really pay attention to it. So I was whatever, and then I'm like, he said, all right, I'm going to go. I'm like, oh, okay, you want me to walk you out? He was like, no. And I was like, oh, okay. And so he left. And so then as he's on his...
love to get sucked up.
He got lost. He got lost on his way out trying to find... Because this was when I was in college, and I lived in, like, these apartments off of campus. So he was looking for the parking deck, and he was like, what parking deck was I in? I was like, see, you should let me walk you out. He was like, just tell me what parking deck
How
I'm
do I get there? I want to see your face.
He can't storm out because he doesn't know which way he's going.
And so I'm looking out...
When you slam the door and storm out, and then you run into them again...
I'm looking out...
Oh, I'm still trying to get out of here and find out where...
I'm looking out my apartment window, like guiding him. He's like, okay, yeah, I know where I am now. And he's like, and you know what? You know why I didn't want you to walk me out? Because I went through your phone while you were showering. And I'm like, okay. He's like, yeah, you're a lying ass bitch. You talk about you didn't want to hang out that night for whatever. And I'm like, all right. He's like, I'm so done with cheaters, man. You people, ugh.
Well,
I'm like, okay.
One of the clips on my Instagram, I have a bit where I ask people what their superpower could be. And I asked this one lady, I go, what would yours? And she goes, I would be able to read minds. That way I'll never get cheated on again. I was like, oh, man.
Poor woman.
I know.
So
that's like so much trauma. Like
it really
she had
is.
that answer so fast.
Because she knew.
Yeah.
So the relationship I'm in now is definitely the most comfortable and confident I've ever felt as myself and in the relationship.
Oh, good for you.
What I'm saying is both he and I have been cheated on in the past. So when we first got together...
Everybody has
right.
been cheated on.
So we were both like, we had that trauma, we had that inkling. So like my phone would go off and he'd be like, hey, your phone. And I'd be like, oh, I'd be like cooking or something. I'd be like, who is it? And he's like, you just want me to read your phone? And I'm like, yeah, I don't care. Like there's nothing in there. Go through everything. I don't care. And it was like weird for both of us to do that. Because like we know each other's passwords or whatever. And so it's like not a big deal to use each other's phones. But it was like the first time he gave me his phone unlocked and I looked at it and I was like, what am I going to find? And I was like, oh, nothing, because he's a good person.
No, what's going to happen?
He loves me. That's weird.
What happens is he's going to see like some purchase you made and that's what's going to be like, oh my God, you paid extra on DoorDash to have it brought right here rather than waiting in line.
Right.
You bought SpongeBob Vans.
Come on, Mayor.
In 2 sizes in case one didn't fit properly.
All the time.
Listen, my parents, I grew up in as conservative as my parents were. They believed very, very much in privacy. So they never went through our drawers when we were high school kids. They were never looking to see if I was taking the pot, which I was, right? They were never doing that. And so I grew up like, you never go through a woman's purse. Like Gwen will be like, can you get that thing out of my purse? I still feel weird.
I
do. I said, I don't. She goes, it's in the front pocket. And I'm like, A, it's probably not because there's a lot of stuff in there. B, it just feels weird.
Yeah.
That's how I grew up. And so I still had that in my brain. Where if somebody was like, oh, my phone rang, can you see how that is? I would just hand them the phone.
Yeah.
I'd go through a woman's purse because I knew they probably had like snacks or mints or stuff in there. So I would be like, where are your stuff?
What are you dating, 65-year-olds?
Dude,
those are snacks or mints?
Yes, I've become the snack lady. I have.
You got snacks in your purse now?
Not right now because I just switched purses. But pretty much I'll have a bag of fruit snacks or a little thing of pretzels or a protein bar, something in my purse because both my boyfriend and his daughter get very, very ornery when they are hungry.
But
so
that's for them. That's for them,
Yeah, it's not for me.
I was going to say, you're preparing.
I'm preparing because I don't want to deal with you.
No,
when
I understand.
You haven't had breakfast.
That makes sense. But like girls that are walking around with like donuts in their bag and stuff like that, like, great way to keep that girlish figure.
Yeah.
Have portable food all the time with you. No, if you got a 6-year-old in the mix, you're like, I got goldfish.
Hey, you're getting pissy.
You're going to be okay.
Some of these pretzels, please.
Yeah. Peckish.
It's honestly more for my boyfriend than it is for her because he loves skipping meals because he's got too much to do. I don't have time to eat. We have to do this, and that. So then we'll be doing the errands and he'll skip
like
breakfast.
That.
Honey, I'm not me when I'm hungry. I need a Snickers.
So we'll be like walking around a store and he'll start to get all aggravated about something and I'll just like hand him a bag of fruit snacks and pretzels and be like, eat these and stop talking.
I was actually thinking about that this morning, how I'm going to have to shift my eating habits when we move downtown next week because as it is now, I never eat breakfast. I'll have lunch and then I'll have dinner when I get home. I'm not going to eat when we're downtown.
You don't have a fridge.
I don't have an office. There's no thing. I'm not. I mean,
There is a fridge in that one little room off of the studio that we'll have.
Yeah, but that's like
mini
it's the
fridge.
podcast studio. It's like for waters and stuff. People
Yeah.
aren't going to be putting their.
No, like in the kitchen, there's the fridge.
There's
There's also a little fridge in that studio
Yeah,
right next
it's a
to ours.
see-through
So, so I'm going to have to eat breakfast and dinner because
It's
I'm
harder. That's way.
that's
skipping
fine.
lunch is a lot harder.
I mean, whatever. I don't care anyway. But
Well, there's a Shake Shack across the street, and then there's
I'm not
House
doing
of
that.
Creole.
You know how
I'm
much
not
he
doing
loves
this.
Shake
Yeah,
Shack.
so well, let's.
I've never had Shake Shack.
I think
try it.
let's usher in the era of Fat Alan. We'll get you Shake Shack every day for lunch, and on days you don't want Shake Shack, you can get a nice big steaming pot of crabs and potatoes and eat it before you go on there.
It's actually going to be great because I'll have breakfast. I'll go to work. I don't need to eat at work. And then I'll go home and have dinner.
Do us a favor and put a little snack in your bag.
Maybe some almonds.
Yeah.
I'll start bringing you a little snack baggie too. There actually is right next to. So we're next to the arcade. On the other side of the arcade, there's this tiny little shop that does breakfast sandwiches. If I know you'll probably eat at home, but they have. I used to get it all the time when I worked downtown. They have like these. They crack a fresh egg and they get their deli
still
meat.
there?
Yes, they get
Okay.
their deli meat from the West Side Market like once a week. It's so good.
I think I've passed it. It's like a little breakfast joint.
It's
in
this
there.
tiny.
Yeah.
It's this tiny little place with just a counter. There's no indoor seating. You just go up, you order your breakfast sandwich, and then it's like $5 for a breakfast sandwich. It's phenomenal.
Not even going to worry about it.
Well, I'm just saying, if you need a little ham, egg, and cheese croissant, they got it.
Croissant.
Do I read ham, egg, and cheese croissant to you?
Maybe. I don't know if a buttery, flaky croissant is too much bread for you.
All right, listen, I've got to
Very
take a
hairy,
break.
though. It's not that
It is.
dense.
It's not dense.
If you want to text 35192 to do that, AlanCoxShow.com.